So what I want to show you guys today is it's something that I see students doing often. So if you create a part in Autodesk Inventor and you don't finish the sketch, then you come back the next day and you want to try and edit that, you need to edit the original sketch. And what happens sometimes is students come back the next day and they create a new sketch on top of another one, and then when they try to extrude that, it doesn't work. So I want to make sure that you guys understand how to create a sketch, come back the next day, and then edit the same sketch. Because I noticed in a few periods where students didn't quite get the stick of butter, they raised their hands while they were typing. I went to go help them, and when they brought up the sketch, they were thinking that they were going to start a new sketch to finish it off. We don't want to do that because then it's not going to extrude. So we're going to try and practice that. I want you guys to create a new part. So create a new part. And we're going to start a new 2D sketch on the XY plane. So when yours loads, start a new 2D sketch on the XY plane. Okay. So we're on the XY plane, and we need to save first before we start doing anything else. So let's go to File, Save As. And then you probably have this pop up. So you cannot save part 1 in sketch mode. Would you like to exit sketch mode and continue saving? So this might happen to you, and it's part of the reason why I wanted you to see this, because if you're in sketch mode and you don't finish the sketch, it's going to ask you to finish the sketch and then save it. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to click OK. And when you clicked OK, what happened, you probably didn't see this, but it switched from sketch to 3D model. So it basically hit the green check mark for you, which puts it back into 3D model. And I want you to save this as, so this is not period 7, this is period 1. So Intro to Autodesk, that's where you guys save yours. Make sure it says Intro to Autodesk right here. I'm going to click on period 1, and let's just write practice saving and opening. I'll zoom in. Practice saving and opening. We're just going to call it that because that's what we're going to try and do. As soon as you have that, you can click Save. Click Save. And you should notice that, again, it changes down here. So let me get that out of the way. Your tab should change down below to practice saving and opening. It says ... It doesn't fit in there. And you shouldn't have any other parts open right now. Okay, you just have the one right here. If you have any other parts open, just close them using the X. And okay, this is good. So we saved it. It's in 3D model mode. And let's say you want to go back and work on your sketch. Well, you have to go back and look in your model here. So we need to look at this menu and notice that it does say sketch 1, right? Because we did start a sketch. We want to start from the original sketch. I think, Matthew, you probably noticed this yesterday. Like you had like, I'm just using you as an example, you had like 4 or 5 sketches in there, right? Because you click on them, it'll keep making new sketches. And what was it? 3 out of the 4 were empty. And then you had like the one that had your actual sketch on there. So we want to make sure that we're editing the same sketch. I want you to right click on it. And we're going to hit edit sketch this time. So edit sketch. And the XY plane should come back, right? The XY plane should come back. So we right click on sketch, we hit edit sketch, and then it brings us back to the original sketch that we were working on before we hit save. So we're just gonna create a really quick shape, and it's gonna be different. I want you to pull down your quadrant, or sorry, pull down the plane so that we have quadrant 1. And then I want you to choose this time, instead of rectangle, can you click the drop down arrow? And I want you to choose polygon. Polygon's at the very bottom. I want you to choose polygon. Choose polygon. And then notice this menu shows up and it's asking you how many sides you want your polygon to be. And let's try to make a triangle. So instead of 6 sides, let's change that to 3. Change that to 3. And then I know some students want to be exact with how I do this. I just want you to create a triangle in this space, and the way that you do that is you're going to click, and then you're going to pull your mouse out, and you're going to see this triangle expand, and then when you get it large enough to where it sort of looks like mine, you just click again. So watch. I click, you see this triangle, it's kind of going into quadrant 4, which is fine, and then I just want you to click again. Doesn't matter. This is not what we're focused on right now. I just wanted you to make a shape so that you can see what we're trying to do. Okay, so just make a triangle in this general space, please. And then as soon as you do that, you can click done on that little window. And notice how the window goes away, and then we're not in polygon mode anymore. So just create a triangle, that's it. Please don't spend a ton of time trying to figure or make it perfect or whatever it is. Just click, make a triangle, click again, and then click done. Expand it out, click. Just waiting for a few of you. Just make a triangle. Click again. Dear. Good. Just keep it like that. Doesn't matter if it's like off kilter. Mine's a little bit rotated. I can tell because this line's not completely straight right here. And then let's say, so we're trying to do this the whole period, and then the class is about to run out, so we hit save. So everyone hit save. And again, we have this thing pop up, right? It's asking us, you cannot save practice saving opening, that's the name of the file, in sketch mode. We can't do that. If we click OK, it's going to save it, but it's going to take us out of sketch mode. So watch, as you click OK, it's going to switch from this tab to 3D model. So everyone click OK. Notice how it switches. So do that. So we're going to pretend like we're leaving class, we're going to close Autodesk completely. So close Autodesk completely. You hit the X, it closes it, it's not there. Close Autodesk completely. So this is going to happen. You guys are going to make complex sketches. You might not finish the sketch to where you're going to extrude it, so you have to save it when it's just a sketch. And then you want to come back the next day and continue on the same sketch. Otherwise, you will not be able to extrude it correctly. So let's pretend like we come in the next day. We're going to reopen Autodesk Inventor. So reopen Autodesk. And then let's wait. I'm going to wait till everyone has that little menu up there. So hopefully, it probably shows up in here is my guess. I think you guys see it right there. Notice how it looks like a sketch. It's not like our stick of butter here, which actually has the extruded object in the color. So there's a few options. Again, we could click down here. So I've shown you different ways to open parts. We've chosen the folder up here and opened it from the file. And then there's also this option down here where if you see it, you can open it from there. So let's try it this time by going down here and you see the folder. Click open. And it should open this. And then here's what I want you to notice. As soon as you open it, it's still in 3D model, right? It's not the sketch. And this is where students, they try to start writing on this, and they end up creating a new sketch in order to do that. That's not what you want to end up doing. So you're all in 3D model mode right here. And again, what we want to do, we see sketch 1 right here. We want to right click on sketch 1. And what do? We hit edit sketch. That way we're back to our original sketch. We're not messing around. We're not layering different sketches on top of each other. Otherwise, it won't extrude correctly. So let's make a quick edit to this triangle. Let's choose the dimension tool. So dimension. And I just want you to choose one of the sides on the triangle. This is an equilateral triangle, meaning that all the sides are equal to each other. That's the polygon tool makes it that way. I want you to choose just one of the sides since they're all equal. And you click, I think you have to click twice, and then drag out the dimension. So if you notice, mine is 3.6326,289. And let's change all of our triangles to 5.0. So if I change one side to 5.0, it's going to change the entire triangle. So I'm going to hit enter. And you'll notice that your triangle, depending on what the size was before, it's either going to get larger or smaller. But again, it's all the sides stay equal because they're constrained together. So I'm going to zoom out, center it. So make sure that is one of the sides is 5.0. I used dimension in order to do that. And then once you change one of these, you'll notice, actually, if I delete that dimension line and I check the other ones, 5.0, yep. I can delete that. I check the bottom one. Oops. 5.0. So, equilateral triangle. I want you to, this time, hit finish sketch. So, like, we came back the next day, right, we didn't quite finish our sketch. There was a few edits that we needed to make. This time we do hit finish sketch, and I want you to extrude it to 10 inches, so 10.0. Ten inches. And then for this one, just choose the color. It doesn't matter to me, but you can choose the color to make it. I'll make mine blue. Janessa. Yeah. Width. If you change one side, it changes all of them automatically. Then as soon as you have one that says 5.0, the whole thing, or all of the edges are 5.0, you hit finish sketch. And then I want you to extrude it to 10 inches and change the color. You can make, today you can make it whatever color you want. You could make it multicolored if you wanted to. Go back, change some of the specific panels. As soon as you get to this point, you can hit save again. So make sure you hit save. Remember, when we just click the save button up here, it's updating the current file. It's not creating a new one. It's just updating the new file. So anytime you make a significant amount of changes, I would click that button right there to make sure that the file is updated. So the keys that I want you to take away from this are, you're going to come across a scenario where you try to make a part during class, like let's say you have to make the coil slide, which is a complex thing. It might take you 2 days to make that. And if you're still in Sketch, you need to make sure that when you come back the next day, that you're still editing the same exact sketch. You do not want to make duplicate sketches. If you, and one of the things that you can look at is if you're over here, if you start noticing multiple sketches here, that could be problematic, and I would raise your hand and check. You should really only have one sketch when you're making these parts. Okay, I'm going to double check and hit save again. You guys can close Autodesk. And then start logging off.